Good afternoon, Cross Timbers. I'm Quanecia Fraser, and this is Texan Weekly. The Larry Joe Taylor Music Festival is a popular one here in Stephenville, and thousands of people are expected to go. But while event goers enjoy the music or the alcohol, security will be very tight. One of Stephenville's biggest events has many Charlton students coming, year after year.
Rain boots. Most important fashion accessory for LJT.
Ariel Henderson is among thousands expected to flood Melody Mountain Ranch next week.
I'm so excited.
The Larry Joe Taylor Texas Music Festival, also known as LJT, is a week-long country music festival right outside of Stephenville. But with recent tragedies like the Austin bombings as well as the Parkland and Las Vegas shootings, safety is a concern.
Larry Joe Taylor is, for me anyway, it is a big break in the semester. It's a time that I don't want to think about safety precautions. I don't want to think about what could happen. I just want to have a good time and listen to some good music. But it's sad to me that this has to be the concern.
Texan News visited Melody Mountain Ranch and spoke to the security team. That security team included Erath County Sheriff Matt Coates and Zach Taylor, the son of musician Larry Joe Taylor.
There's 4 entrances into the main stage area, so every entrance has a security personnel that will make you open up a cooler. So every cooler is opened up. And of course, they're looking for glass bottles, but that's not all they're looking for.
Zach Taylor says the security team won't only be checking coolers for glass, but other potential dangers like bombs or weapons. The security team has been hard at work to keep event goers safe by working with the Department of Homeland Security. Officers have also gone through active shooter training. But their biggest safety tip for festival goers: if you see something, say something. In Stephenville, I'm Quanecia Fraser, Texan TV News. And now for the rest of this week's news from the Associated Press. In state news, a mother of 2 is dead after a Southwest Airlines jet going from New York to Dallas blew an engine. Jennifer Reardon was a bank executive well known in New Mexico. The governor of New Mexico described Reardon as an incredible woman who put her family and community first. She was flying home from a business trip to New York when the plane had to make an emergency landing in Philadelphia. The Southwest Airlines company, based in Dallas, said there were no problems with the plane or its engine when it was inspected on Sunday. In national news, many are also mourning the loss of former First Lady Barbara Bush. She died Tuesday at 92 years old. Former President George W. Bush said his mom didn't fear death and believed she would be wonderfully received in the arms of a loving God in the afterlife. Many paid respects to the Bush family, including President Donald Trump and former President Barack Obama. Days before Barbara Bush died, it was announced that she was in failing health. She chose not to receive further medical treatment, but instead wanted comfort care at her home in Houston. In international news, Raul Castro is stepping down as president of Cuba, but he'll remain in power. At 86 years old, he'll still be the head of Cuba's Communist Party, and he's expected to hold that position until 2021. This allows him to oversee the man who will replace him as president. Party officials in Cuba usually oversee or work with government officials at every level, including the military. In entertainment news, yesterday, Saudi Arabia opened its first movie theater in decades with a showing of Black Panther. The showing was private and invitation only, but many in Saudi Arabia saw this as part of a new era for the country. Women will soon be allowed to drive, and people will also be able to go to concerts and fashion shows. That's it for this week's top stories. Again, I'm Quanecia Fraser. Thanks for tuning in, and be sure to join me next week for more of your weekly news.